What's up, you guys? I figured I would at least change it up a little bit because it is past 11:30 at night and I can't sleep, so I figured I would at least make a little video because I'm bored and I don't know what to do while I can't sleep. So, here we go. Today we're going to talk about 5 bands that I hate. I know this isn't very original of me, but like I said, I just want to make a video just to do something. And just disclaimer, this is just what I personally think. If you guys have any different bands that you want to list, you can definitely tell me in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. So, band number 1, and this is in no particular order by the way, is Motley Crue. Now, Motley Crue for me has been a band that the older I get, the more I dislike them because I think really what it is, I just kind of, in a way, it feels like I kind of grew up and moved on from them, if that makes sense. When I was a teenager, I thought they were pretty cool. I liked listening to them every once in a while, but now I really can't stand him. I really I really hate all of them. Nikki Six really bothers the shit out of me, and he none of those members besides maybe like Mick Mars seem like genuinely cool people. I dislike all of them. I think their songs are just really annoying to me, and I think it's also just that I've heard them so much over the years that I'm just kind of sick and tired of hearing them. So, yeah, Motley Crue, couldn't be bothered about them. Band number 2 is kind of a band that I want to like them. I want to get into them, and maybe even me putting them on this list as worst bands or bands that I hate isn't fully true, but I'm just gonna mention it anyways. And I have a feeling a lot of you guys might get pissed off at me for this, but it's Kiss. Now, on one hand, I can understand the appeal of Kiss because I mean you got 4 guys in makeup and crazy costumes. You got Gene Simmons spitting fire and blood, and I could imagine if you were a kid in the '70s, that had to have been like the coolest thing ever, you know. But the music, it doesn't do anything for me. I really wish I knew how to explain it, but every time I try to get into them, when I list put on like their self-titled or even Destroyer or Love Gun, anything that they've done, I've never been able to get into them. I don't know why. I wish I was able to, but it just does nothing for me. I really wish I knew how to explain that, you know? But yeah, Kiss, not necessarily a band I hate, but just a band I can't really be bothered about more than anything. Band number 3 that I'm going to say, and this is going to piss off, I bet, a lot of you, but Slipknot. And I feel bad kind of saying that because, kind of similar to Motley Crue, this was definitely a band that I really enjoyed when I was younger, when I was, in my teen years. For some reason, it really spoke to me, but again, the older I get, I kind of grew out of that and I moved on to other bands that I've enjoyed more than Slipknot. Corey Taylor just really irritates me. I feel like he tries way too hard to be edgy and cool, and it just comes across as really cringy, and he always has something to say about everything. Something about him just doesn't sit right with me, the older I get, and that's just the way it is, man. So Slipknot, kind of similar to Motley Crue. I liked them when I was younger, but now I don't care about them at all. And number 4, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of you that might understand this one, but The Doors. Um, I understand the legacy that they have, and I can see why certain people might like them, but I think really for me, they just bore me more than anything. Plus, I think Jim Morrison sounded like shit. Like, he was seriously one of the worst vocalists I've heard. It just baffles me how a band that, to me at least, I think they suck. I just don't understand how they can have such a huge following and could be considered like one of the greatest rock bands of all time. And their music is just a bad acid trip, is really the best way I can explain it. Not that I do drugs or anything, but that's just an analogy I want to go with. I really couldn't be bothered with them. Pick number 5. I'm gonna cheat a little bit on this one because it's considering a band as well as a solo career. So say what you want about it, but the White Stripes, including Jack White solo career, I I feel like this is kind of harsh for me to feel this way because A lot of people I knew, especially when I was in high school, mostly the indie crowd that I knew, like the people that kind of gravitated towards that scene, they just worshipped anything and everything that Jack White ever did, and it really bothered me. It put me off, and it was like I don't want to hear about Jack White again. I don't want to listen to Jack White. I'd rather listen to I don't know, Black Sabbath or whoever I was into, and I'm sure they probably said the same thing about me, which I mean I don't really care. But yeah, for some reason I don't understand the appeal of the White Stripes or Jack White or any of that, because to me it's just very mind-numbingly dumb. Like I could easily go without hearing Seven Nation Army or Icky Thump or any of his songs again. Honestly, I could easily do that, and life would be totally fine for me. Yeah, the White Stripes, Jack White. Kind of cheating on the last one, but I figured I would at least mention that because I think it makes sense to me, at least. Hope you guys enjoyed this low effort video I did. I just figured I would do it while I'm awake because like I said in the beginning, I'm very bored. I can't sleep. And yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and click the bell notification to get notified every time I upload a new video. And I hope to catch you guys soon, whenever that is. Take care.